All right, Shalom. First off, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you Wakim throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Mashal Mayim, one of the men here with the GMS branch out here in the morning camp. Here with a quick lesson once again, and just going into showing the Lord that you want it, okay? And whatever it is that you need, okay, whatever it is that you might be lacking, okay, whether it be concentration, whether it be self-control, all right, or many different things that we might need to do better at, okay. But what when you ask and pray to the Lord, okay, you gotta show the Lord that you really want that, you know. So let's start off with Proverbs chapter 1 and start at the top. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. All right, because ultimately that's the point of these scriptures, is to teach us wisdom. Okay, and this is where we get our instruction from, right? To know how to conduct ourselves. Okay, have an understanding. Right, verse 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Okay. And the word justice, when you look it up, is what? Is knowing what's right, right? Judgment, okay, deciding, okay. And equity is what? Balance, okay, or equality, you know. Verse 4, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion, all right? And that word subtlety, when you go into it, is what? Sub meaning under, and tillis goes back to web, okay, so it's under the web, right? But all these things are to teach us, how to behave and how to conduct ourselves wisely. Okay, like Yahweh Shai said himself, okay, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, right? So ultimately, that's the point of these scriptures, okay, is to teach us how to conduct ourselves, also keeping the laws, of course, to the best of our ability, right? Verse 5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels, right? And we want to be that wise man, okay, that when he gets this counsel and this or it says and will increase learning, right? Right. And when we get these counsels, we want to go and apply them, okay, and actually live them, you know, so that we can prosper and grow, right? From there, let's get Proverbs chapter 19 and starting at verse 20. And it reads, hear counsel and receive instruction, right? That's once again, that's what the scriptures is about, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Okay. So ultimately it's to make us wise, right? And I'm grabbing these first to show because that's what's needed and that's what we are to want, right? And that's shown in exercising self-control, okay, in different areas and things that we lack, right? We come to the scriptures for these things, you know. From here, now let's go to the book of James, okay, because it says what? This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High that giveth to all men liberally and abradeth not, right? So if you lack any of these traits of wisdom, okay, not just the things that I named, but it could be anything, okay? It could be time management, okay? It could be money management, all right? Many different things, okay, that you might need, okay, to be able to so that you don't ultimately bring more trouble upon yourself, I'm gonna reread it again. James chapter 5 and chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High that giveth to all men liberally and abradeth not, and it shall be given him, right? So if you lack these things, what? It said to ask the Most High. Okay. Verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Okay, so you gotta believe when you ask, okay, for what you need. All right. because the Lord doesn't like unbelief. And if you don't believe, then ultimately the Lord isn't going to give it to you, right? Verse 7, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, so you can't be double-minded when you pray. All right. When you pray, you want to fully be convinced and have faith that what you're praying for and asking for, the Lord is going to give it to you. Okay. So showing you, I just grabbed those to show you that wisdom is what we need. Okay. And if you like it, ask and pray to the Lord. Right. And many different avenues of once again, showing wisdom. Like I said, it's not, it's not just one thing. Right. But now what I want to get to is when you ask and pray to the Lord and the Lord answers you, you want to show that you want it. Okay. Actually, before we get to that, let's get the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 7, and it reads, ask and it shall be given you, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, to him that knocketh it shall be opened. All right. So once again, if you it said ask and it shall be given you, knock and ye shall receive, or seek and ye shall find. So once you ask and pray for these things, okay, you got to seek it, okay? And what? You got to keep knocking, And seeking can be what? You reading, okay, you going on a fast, okay? Getting counsel from different brothers, asking, right? That's you what? Finding the answer that the Lord is trying to show you, because ultimately the Lord already has the answer for you, but he'll give it to you in different ways, right? From there, let's go to Matthew chapter 21. Matthew chapter 21 and verse 22. And it reads, in all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Okay. So once again, all things it said all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. So you got to believe too. All right. You can't just ask, but then, you're not fully convinced, okay, that what you're asking for is going to be given you, right? But another thing too, it said what? In all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer. Okay, and that's another thing too, because what did Paul say, right? Let's get this real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17, and it reads, pray without ceasing. Okay, and that's plain and simple, all right? Pray without ceasing, and that's not just every single day, the Lord's Prayer, but different things that you need, all right? Whatever it is that whatever it is that you're lacking, okay? So from there, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, all right? Because I mentioned the word fast, right? And this account came to my mind, okay, dealing with Ezra when he spoke to the angel, right? Let's just type the word in, because I don't think that's the right precept I had written down. Right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 20. Now I'm grabbing this to show because ultimately Ezra he wanted answers, right? When he was speaking to that, ultimately the Lord was speaking through to him through an angel, right? And he wanted different answers, And I'm just grabbing this to show because when you read this, you see how he really wanted answers from the Lord, okay? And what did he do? Right? We're gonna read about it. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 20. And it reads, and so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me. Okay. So that's what the Lord told him through an angel to go do. Okay. And that's what he went and did. Right. Verse 21, and after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again. Okay. So, you know, he showed that he really wanted that by what? Going and doing what the angel told him to do. Okay, he went on a fast, and that's another way, okay, of showing that you need help, right? Like brothers say, okay, hitting that panic button, right? Different things that you're trying to overcome, okay? You know, you can go on a fast and pray to the Lord, okay, and the Lord will help you out, like as Ezra did here, right? Let's also get that other one. I believe it's chapter 6 and verse yeah. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 31, and it reads, "If thou wilt pray yet more and fast 7 days, again I shall tell thee greater things by day than I have heard." Okay, so he said if you will pray again, right, pray yet more and fast again 7 days. Okay, so he told him to keep doing that, right, to get more answers, and that's exactly what he did, you know. So I just want to do this quick lesson, just showing that you got to show the Lord that you want it, okay, and not just asking and not doing nothing about it, right? But that was the point. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit upon me to do this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.